Hello, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. New Wednesday, new podcast.
And we're back.
Today we are here with the CEO of XBORG, Lou Reggie, I think, right? Louis Reggie?
Yeah. Well, in French, we pronounce the S at the end. So it's Louis Regis.
Regis.
So yeah,
Okay,
very
okay.
excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time. I just asked just before we went live if you guys met on NFT Paris. You guys did, right? How was the event?
Yeah.
Well, Capone will share his feedback. I'm obviously very biased.
We met with the XBORG team in Paris. It was the first IRL event. Well, amazing opportunity because yes, I've never met the team in face. So in person for me, this was obviously very fantastic opportunity to like approach them, have a word with them, and what's in the pipelines for XBORG. Because as you know, we're a big bag holder of XBORG. We studied conviction, and these prices, they are nothing to us. We are not faced by it. We see this as other buying opportunities because the gaming industry isn't going anywhere. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that.
For sure. Is there because one thing I would like to ask is a lot of people are worried about the price right now. Ian Capone is still in profits, but still a lot of people they joined later. They are down right now. Is it something to be worried about? Is it just the markets? What are your thoughts on this?
Well, as far as XBORG is concerned, like the fear of the market and the overall sentiment, we sadly have like no impact over it. So it's like it's hard for me to comment on the price because that's we're part of a much bigger market. And when someone is fearful, whether they hold ETH or Solana or XBG, they're not going to make any difference as far as fundamentals are concerned. I think what you need to look at is what's being built behind the scene, and is our fundamentals today better than yesterday? And the answer is yes. Then at some point you should have the conviction that fundamentals and price should converge, and that the wider crypto market is not over. And I see so many friends coming to me and say, it's funny, in December they were asking me, should I buy? And then now they're asking me, should I sell? It's basic psychology of the market. And so should we be concerned about the market? I think I'm not a macro expert. I do think that things are overblown. Should I be concerned about the fundamentals of XBORG? Absolutely not. And I think we can delve into it a bit later. But I think to me it looks like market-wide sell-off. People are going risk off, and they will buy in eventually higher once macro and momentum recovers.
Yeah, for sure. But I was kind of positively surprised by what you guys have been building and already delivered so far, because the community part of the XBORG dashboard or portal is amazing. It looks great. What are your future plans with this?
I mean, look, what we do is we're building an identity protocol. So that means we're building like a digital passport for gamers, so that wherever you go and play games in the future, it's going to be recognized by a unified passport, which is your CV of a gamer. The key thing I wanted the team to work on from the very first day is to work on Web2 distribution. So, Web3 can be, there's a lot of ups and downs. And what I figured is whenever the market is in a downturn that we had in 2022, essentially when we got started, we saw that the growth was impacted by the price. And what we're doing at XBORG is working with some very large Web2 companies. So, for example, we're working with some of the best Web2 esports teams, and none of that is being impacted by the current market. Like those teams have no clue about the market, that it's not going to change anything. And so, the big thing we're doing at the moment is announcing those esports team partnerships, which is an amazing driver of fundamentals for XBORG. not only for the growth of the protocol, but also the revenues of the protocol. Recently, we've announced one of the largest Chinese esports team, which is called JDJ. And in about, I think, less than 10 days, we're announcing a new team. It's going to be consistent throughout the year. So that's what we have in the pipeline. In terms of product, we're building this, fan app SDK. You guys can check it out on Team Liquid's websites and IP. The next app is actually releasing in 10 days. So this tech is only going to evolve, but what you should be looking forward to the most is distribution. Otherwise, we've announced actually at NFT Paris, at our side event, we've announced that we are building XBORG AI, and so you can expect some AI technologies to be built by XBORG and be intertwined with our identity technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw something about this on a recent X post with basically the roadmap of where XBORG is headed. But is it supposed to be that the AI actually gives you some feedback on how to improve your gaming?
Yeah, so what we're building more specifically is an AI copilot. So as you play your game, and you would be able to configure how the copilot works with just improve your performance, but it can also be to just serve as a companion. So someone that is just your friends online, and that's the exciting thing that we're working on at the moment, and it's helping the identity protocol because as you play a game, the copilot learns a bit more about you, and will feed your digital passport with the data that it collects in game.
Very cool. Ian, you have some more questions?
Yes, because before we get into the AI comportment, I'd like to know what are the biggest challenges that you as XBORG team are facing at the moment?
Well, in startups, you have tons of challenges. So it depends on which vertical. I think one that's important to discuss is how we make Web3 adoption seamless. So, and that's something that we've been working on with Team Liquid is, for example, how do you abstract away Web3 such that the experience and the user experience is great? Today, there are technologies that help you to get there, but one of the challenges that we have is how do you have embedded Web3 technologies yet keep user experience that's smooth for the end user? That's one of the challenges we have on the product side. On XBORG AI, on this venture, we do have some challenges, but those are, I would say, technical challenges that we have, and that at the end of the day make up the value of the company and the IP that we're building. Yeah, business development wise, we don't have that many challenges. We're starting the content creator vertical, which is a different kind of beast because it's very different from the esports teams that we're working on. They are, that depends on how specific you want to go.
No, just keep it simple. Like, let's say you're having a team gathering. Guys, we're facing this and this. How are we gonna tackle it? Just a simple.
Well,
example.
One is today we're not. So we have more than 3 years of runway, and we're making revenues. But today, the mandate for the team is to say, okay, how do we shift from betting 100% on growth to actually say, okay, we want to be profitable. And that's, I think, a challenge that every startup is facing is how do you balance the two? Because growth will imply that you hire a ton of people and you say, okay, I'm going to delay profitability because I know that more money is going to come in. So to us at Expo internally, it's very much like we want to be profitable, so that runway is not an issue anymore. And it's also because we have to adapt to market dynamics, and we're not like, although we own a whole bunch of the XBG supply, we don't want to sell XBG to the market. So if I were, I mean, that's exactly what I've communicated to the team is being revenue maxing. So just focusing on revenue, which only, I mean, just a few Web3 protocols actually work on. The great news is XBORG is some of the best positioned to execute on this, because the esports teams that we work with actually pay us on a monthly basis, and that hedges our runway. But it also is around the product vision to say, okay, how can we monetize the user bases of the esports teams? Because that's also one way in which we earn money.
And that's how you, sorry, to finish on this topic, Mike, and that's the sponsorship with the esports team. You say they pay some kind of revenue, they pay for the runway, but also for the fans, yeah, the app to accumulate more fans, more users, so they get and so they get used to how Web3 products are being built, and they just use them, right? That's the purpose, I think. Also.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, those apps, they add tremendous value to the esports teams, and that's why the esports teams pay us for that service.
Okay, so they're not a bag holder of XBORG. They just pay you because XBORG makes the app, but they're not holding.
Yeah, no, they're not. We don't enforce. I mean, first, like having an esports team pay a Web3 protocol, it's quite unique in the sense that all of the like when you see a Web3 protocol partnering with an esports team, historically it's always been sponsorships and not partnerships. Sponsorships imply that they give you money, they give money to the esports team. Partnership implies that it's different kind of value, and for us, they pay us. So and that's why we could have announced like 50 teams by now, but that's why we have to, and that's exactly what I've said in like the trade-off between growth and revenue is you want to be betting on, I mean, we want to be betting on the revenue side, not the growth, so that we are resilient in any type of market.
Clear. Thanks.
Yeah, I see a question from the crowd from Yuri. There is supposed to be a Q1 tier 1 exchange listing, right? Could you share some more about this? Is there something known yet, or what can we expect?
Yeah, we've been working on that actually since a good 3 quarters at this stage, and we had a great news yesterday or the day before regarding the exchange listing, and what I told the team, actually I can look it up, but what I told the team is, well, one, it's expensive. Second is we need to wait for the right time. As the leader of the protocol, my first responsibility is to make sure the team is like we have sufficient runway for the next like 3-4 years, which we have today, and make sure that every action that we take brings us some return on investment. Today, the consensus is that if we were to list on Bybit, OKX, for example, we don't think that this is going to be very positive short term because the market momentum is simply not there yet. So our views internally is that we need to wait for better conditions for us to activate those exchange listings. And that's exactly what we will do. Is today, should we announce we're listing on OKX? And I'm not saying we're going to list there. I'm just dropping that name for context. But let's say today we were to announce, okay, we go on OKX. Price might rally for like 1-2 days, and then it's going to sell off because that's been the pattern on all projects recently. Like when you should not like go against the trend, and the trend is definitely down. Like we have no bullish momentum, and so we want to be like the fastest running the market goes into that trend. So what we're doing at the moment is having all those connections and having the green lights from those exchanges, so that when timing is right, we feel comfortable paying for those fees, and we also feel comfortable that this is going to impact the token distribution and price.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think it's very important to have a proper timing with these things. Like you say, if you're able to drop good news on good news on good news in a bullish sentiment, I think it will do wonders for the price. And unfortunately, the prices are down, but it's for the entire market right now. So it's an uphill battle until Bitcoin reaches a higher price. What do you think is like a pivotal moment we need in crypto, not specific for XBORG, but for the markets to go up again? Because do you think we're hitting a bear market right now? Do you think the top is in? What is your vision globally for the markets right now?
Yeah, I think if you had asked me that question in 2022, I think in 2022 it was very clear what was happening to the industry. I think it'd be silly to say we've seen the top, because we have to understand what led to that downturn and drawdown, which to me is 100% macro driven. Like structurally, crypto only had great news. We actually haven't seen any negative news in some time. So I think saying that we are headed in the bear market when everything is turning positive for the industry would be foolish. So what we have to say, or at least wait for, is just better macro. And the number one thing that the market hates is uncertainty. And sadly, Trump has only increased uncertainty since the beginning of his mandate. Like tariffs are one, and tariffs have a bad impact on inflation expectations, which is bad for risk on assets. So what we need to wait for, in my opinion, is better macro conditions, which would translate into a pivot from the Fed, and ultimately lower interest rates for the market to be turning positive again. I do think that everything is sort of overblown. People being fearful in crypto is normal. It comes with in any market phase, but in equity markets, I think it's a bit overblown. Like people are just overreacting, and crypto is is just very reflective when it comes to risk assets. So top, to me, it's super hard for seeing the top to be in. For me, for the top to be in, that would mean or would imply that we are headed into a recession. But I think the odds of that happening are very slim.
So let's say BTC goes sideways for the next couple of weeks / months. Does that also automatically mean that the token launch on a centralized exchange is going to be halted due to that time?
Yeah, definitely. We want to see upwards market momentum. We want to see people willing to take risks, because any positive catalyst today has like little impact on the number of holders, on the price, on the distribution. And so we want to see a sustained trend of momentum. Most altcoins are down 70-80%, and we want to see, I think, a rally of, I would say, at least in the 30-40% on those tokens before we feel comfortable that the market would take a listing on one of those exchanges as positive news.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of investors that in our community that invested in your project. How would you explain in your own words how XBG or XBORG in a whole differs from other gaming tokens? What makes it unique, and why should anyone invest at all?
Yeah, tokenomics is one. we've launched in a unique way where all community investors had their tokens unlocked at TG, and that means that the constant selling pressure from people getting their tokens unlocked and dumping them on the market. We see a lot of news of people fearing unlocks from VCs, and we have none of that. And so that means, from a tokenomics viewpoint, everyone that invested today, like, they have their tokens, and so if they wanted to capitulate, they could capitulate. But that means moving forward, you're not going to have this inflation pressure on the token, which we feel is positive. Then what we're different is also what I said earlier is Web2 distribution. Is today our growth and fundamentals are improving day by day because we have the strong ties to Web2 brands. Is like, there is a reason why our velocity of announcement as far as Web2 esports teams and content creators is not going to stop, is because that is not based on the market sentiment. And so that's one other reason. Fundamentals just keep expanding, which is good. The other one is community driven. We are super close to our community, either by governance or just being active with our community. And when we mean we community, that also means we prioritize our community. And that means the value that we capture from XBORG as a business flows to token holders as opposed to equity holders. We've never raised money with our own equity, and so that means 100% of the value can be accrued to token holders, which we feel is a great, it's just a great asset for a token holder to have. And last point, it's not exhaustive here, but last point is the fundamentals. Is we definitely saw a lot of froth in the market when it comes to meme coins. You saw the Trump meme coin, the Melania coin, etc. And so we feel like the market is very much burnt out from those tokens. And we feel that the market is going to turn to fundamentals. And so when you look at the fundamentals of XBORG, partnering with the leading esports teams in the world, having sustainable revenues, being able to put 100% of the value created towards token holders, we feel like this is putting us in the top spot for the gaming tokens as far as fundamentals are concerned. So for those reasons, we believe that XBG is a unique token and well positioned to be one of the leading gaming token in an uptrend. I think there is a reason why in Q4 XBG was the best performing gaming token, as people saw our ability to execute in Q4 when the market was right. And yeah, market was down and we were down just like Beam and the other tokens. But when the market turns around, people will remember that we were the fastest runner on the way up, and we believe that the same is going to happen.
Facts.
I hope so. But guys, so one thing, is Lou just lagging for me, or do you experience the same problem, Ian?
I also have some lag issues, but it could be some internet related. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe because you're the host. I don't know.
No. Okay. Well, it's should be working properly, but. Oh well, it's okay. Anyway, guys, you guys did a sponsor deal with us. You actually enabled us to give away a car for XBORG. Have you seen the giveaway itself yet, Lou?
No, I haven't seen the giveaway, but I'm sure the team cooked something cool. What are we giving away?
I can show it to you if you give me a little bit. Just hold on, then I will show it to you, because I'm kind of surprised, or I'm how you say, I'm excited to see what you think about the giveaway, because it's something you guys made possible for us to do in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam. So it's actually, I think, a lot of fun to.
I sent you the link. I sent you the link, Mike.
Yeah, I have it. One moment. Let me just share it with you 1 second. Okay, here it is, guys.
Voor de mensen thuis, we zijn dus nu in Rotterdam. De mensen die ons binnen 30 minuten vinden, dus dat is voor kwart over 4. Ja, die mogen meedoen. Game, steen, papier, schaar, crypto quiz op het einde. En de winnaar die neemt een auto mee naar huis. Dus zo simpel is het.
Yo, I just took a quick loss on this candlestick. Tell her, babe, slow down, you can't handle this. Yeah, she's kinda freaky into the strangling. Babe, I do crypto, this ain't gambling. This ain't no hopscotch, always going up like a stopwatch. For the prof pot, I draw the lines when it's top notch. Place a trade and put my feet up, I might not watch. Me and Brody coming, so you better set your stop
Don't need a
loss.
B2C, I need BTC. Stack it up easily, my trade's looking green to me. GME, how I'll make your game stop. They used to not believe in me and now they say they need the G. This ain't chatting, I might go to Hatton from this bullish pattern. Trades are looking pretty like a beauty pageant. Arthritis, yeah, I get it cracking, never lacking in the street. Go call me Khabib, how I get them tapping.
If we're talking tactics, let me set the play. Feeling like a plumber the way I check a trade. I'm just pumping up the barrel when I press the gauge. I didn't like my entry, so I crept away. You can have a few shares if you suck the nuts. Ribeye only, tell the waiter fuck the rump. Tell that bitch go down, don't jump the gun. Calling me a meme queen the way I pump and dump.
They can't pass this, try test where my heart is. You know I see red, bear market, there's bare chances to get your ass split. So watch how you're talking. I would show you leverage, but we in another margin. Like the Royal Navy when they saw the man them marching. Bro, so scatty, one move and it'll blast him. Talking bars like a bag, no we handle. Always going up, you can call me green can.
Yo, this ain't no game that you can play up on the sofa if you're thinking it's a bubble. No bar, the charts are up and down bipolar. Manipulate the market in my hand so I control her. And I go hard, it's been a green week. No grow yard, salvaging these trades like I'm Copart. Composing plays like I'm Mozart. Type of trade to get there in the day just like a postcard. This is no laugh, I'm in the middle of the flow chart.
When they see this water, they might liquidate. Why would I be whipping weight when I can just go get a trade? I don't follow trends when I'm going to the store. I check the RSI, already see it's overbought. Got the spots popping, I can see it in their pores. Like a bungalow, you know my shorty got no flaws. You can enter, can you exit?
Wie het meest in de buurt zit, die wint. En het is dus de market cap van XBORG. En wie het meest in de buurt bij dat bedrag zit, die wint de waggie.
Ik weet even niet meer. Ah, shit.
We hebben het opgeschreven.
Ik weet niet als het...
800 miljoen staat daar.
Ja.
Oké.
Ja.
Zo.
Okay.
40,2 miljoen.
40,2 miljoen, oké.
Ja.
Jij hebt het recent gekocht, denk ik.
121 miljoen.
121 miljoen. Het antwoord is, dames en heren, iets van 47 miljoen. Iets in die trant. Dus jij hebt gewonnen, man. Kijk, strijder. Oké. Even laten zien voor de mensen thuis. Nogmaals, hij had 42 miljoen. Market cap is exact 42,7. Ja, man. Strijder. En dames en heren, ik zie, het is niet eerlijk, op mijn Instagram stonden de regels, crypto-vraag, je kon het weten, het is allemaal aangekondigd. Ja, toch weer even rijden? Ja, is goed. Ja, toch? Hij is sterk.
Oh, snel. Dat is leuk overhandiging. Toch Joey, toch?
Ja, klopt. Ja, strijder. Nou, oké. In elk geval zitmember, dat is wel een beetje persoonlijk leuk. Andere kant natuurlijk, hè? Ja, zo. Ik ben het even hier. Alright, dus push to start. Klik maar. Daar staat op de hand. Jij bent Rebba, hè?
Die heb ik wel,
ja. Nee, ik geloof het. Joey.
Ja, man.
2 dagen later, is het al een beetje bezonken dat je de auto hebt gewonnen?
Ja, het voelt nog een beetje onwerkelijk eigenlijk. Maar ja, nu we dan hier staan met de auto, dan denk je wel, ja, hij is gewoon, ik heb hem gewoon gewonnen, zeg maar.
Toch? Ja.
Bizar inderdaad.
Had je gedacht dat je zou winnen? Wat waren je verwachtingen toen je naar kwam opdagen voor de giveaway?
Ja, uiteindelijk, je wist natuurlijk wat ik kon verwachten, gewoon steen op Pischa. Maar dat, uiteindelijk 12 mensen, ik had wel iets meer opkomst verwacht. En toen we met 12 mensen stonden, denk ik, ja, dan ga ik het gewoon weer noken.
Ja, dan is hij binnen. Ja. Je had 2 levens, er is 1 leven verloren te gaan.
Klopt.
XBORG kijkt mee. Heb je positieve woorden voor XBORg? Heb je iets te zeggen tegen ze?
Ja, ze hebben wel gesaved hiermee, dus ja, ik zou zeggen, koop XBORG. Ja.
Oké. Wat is de eerste plek waar je naartoe gaat rijden?
Naar huis.
Naar huis? Ja, naar huis.
Ja, ik ga even naar huis. Daarna met Deventer weer terug. Uurtje rijden, dus ja, Ben benieuwd.
Ja, toch?
Ja.
Nou, nogmaals Joey, alvast gefeliciteerd. Nogmaals, bij deze de sleutel. En veel rijplezier, man. Ik hoop dat je er veel aan gaat hebben aankomende tijd.
Zeker, dankjewel.
Zie.
You can enter, can you exit? I see them getting runny like when X split.
Voor de tweede keer. Oh, wacht, verkeerde kant, Joey.
Tell her, babe, slow down, you can't handle this.
Nog even wennen,
Strangling, babe, I do crypto, this ain't gambling.
I just took a quick loss on his candlestick. Tell her, babe, slow down, you can't handle this. Yeah, she's kind of freaky into the strangling. Babe, I do crypto, this ain't gambling.
Euro's, doekoe, money, behoorlijk wat. Dikke stuk. We gaan nu rijden, dames en heren. Cameravrouw staat buiten, ze kijkt me aan van moet ik nog blijven filmen. Ze verstaat me niet. Ze denkt dat ik tegen haar praat, maar dat doen we niet. We gaan gewoon boeken, hè? Of niet Joey? Let's go! Let's get it man! Money over bitches!
Yeah, so thank you again.
Bitches!
For Joey, for everyone, for the community, it was a very fun thing to do. And what other way than to host like a gamification giveaway, right? It's the rock, paper, scissors, very easy to play, but thank you so much for the Dutch community.
Yeah, no worries. I think it's a great fun, and I'm just happy the community loved it.
For sure. Okay, so I do have a few more questions about all the different things that are going on with XBORG right now, because you guys are not only building the identity protocol, but there's also a whole community aspect to it. You can actually earn experience. There's a governance where you can actually vote, and you there's also gamification in the way you try to engage with the community and try to get people to contribute to the decisions you guys are making. I have joined a couple, not all, but certainly a few of the fireplaces, also the community meetings in the Discord. One thing I'm really noticing is that you're all about the community. You're trying to keep the people engaged. You're actually gamificating the entire process, the experience. How come you guys are so good at this particular part? Because it's not something you see a lot for crypto projects, that they actually make it as easy as possible and to be disengaged with the community, with the decisions they make. A lot of people say they are, but with XBORG, there's a next level kind of engagement. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm actually very happy you mentioned that. I've been a big proponent of governance from day one, and I think it comes back to like let's say upper management of XBORG and how we are all aligned on the fact that communities are of utmost priority. And the company we have, well, protocol, we have like 3 pillars. It's community, token, and product. And since the very first day, whenever we make some big moves or some big decisions, we want the community to be involved, and we want the community to have a say over these decisions. And it's just been our philosophy on how we've built things so far. Is we on Slack, and that's where we communicate with the core team. Is it's about every big decision is how can we get the community involved. Then it's about incentivizing the community so that the key builders of the community are rewarded and feel like they feel valued. We've got an amazing team of Oz, who's actually been the first person to join me on the XBORG adventure, but then a whole bunch of moderators that help us on a daily basis, really. And I think last point is there is no barrier between the community and the core staff. Is you can see me every day on Discord. The moderators can ping me on Discord, and every day, just before getting on that call, I was on Discord just answering some community questions. So the community really feel like they are very close to us, and the truth is they are very close to us. Is whenever I'm on on a boring meeting with one of our partners, we should not say this, but whenever I'm on a boring meeting, I just open Discord and answer, because community members are no different than me. It's like we all to some degree the same. I just happen to work on a project where you've invested in and you believe in me, and so that only makes us hungry to push towards that vision.
Okay. And do you think, Lou, that without the community, especially in Web3, there is no product?
What do you mean by this?
So let me clarify. You have a community, as in, let's simplify it or take it a few steps further. You have Web2 companies and Web3 companies.
Yeah.
Web2 companies, they have like a staff, they have like HR and all that. Web3, they how do you call it? They inrichten. What is inrichten in het Engels? They add it a little bit different, but you can clearly see of organize. In Web3, they organize it differently than in Web2, and you can clearly see that they're open for community for them to help. And in my opinion, if you have a staff who is, let's say, max to like 5-6 people, and you have a community of hundreds of people who can contribute to anything that the team or the project desires, this opens other doors and gives much more capabilities. And that's why my question was, do you think is that this is what makes a community, is what makes a Web3 project better?
Yeah. Okay. I thought you implied product first, but actually, to me, especially events for XBORG, is community is everything. And the reason why you launch a token is not only for capital formation, but also to create this positive feedback loop with the community, and that's to say, the more the community helps us, the more they're rewarded. Today, how it looks like is we have this reward program where we have every month we have a new season that starts. You can pledge your tokens, and depending on how involved you are in the community, so depending on the number of governance posts you voted on, or the activity on the app, or different leaderboards, you get more rewards. What we believe in is that the more value you provide, the more value you should get. And that's why we have this very, very unique, let's say, staking program. But the whole point about the token, and why, when you asked on why XBG as a gaming token, is because of value and alignment. Is we've never raised with equity, and that means we have complete freedom to provide value to token holders. And one of the strong utility, which is not rolled out just yet on XBG because we're still building the protocol, is to say the value that we generate as a company or protocol is going to go back to the token holders. So if you believe that XBG is going to be making billions of revenue in a year, then that means token holders will benefit from that revenue stream. And it fits into a much bigger vision that I have as far as the future of value creation in the world. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that for today.
So that's very good to know. I know that this was the case, but coming from your mouth on the 12th of March 2025, I'm eagerly waiting.
I have a question, because we are Prometheus NFT holders. We are very engaged with a lot of things. We have the chess piece NFTs. We're holding tokens, so we're pledging them. We're doing the votes on the governance proposals. Are there other things we can do or contribute to, for example, earn more coins or be more involved? Or are there more NFTs coming? What is there to do for people in the XBORG community?
Yeah, I would say most important is being on Discord and just being curious, asking questions. Asking question is actually like especially when the market is down, asking the tough questions, and like, I think being on the edge of whether I should buy or sell, I think this is very good. Is you should test the team to say, okay, how far and how serious are these guys? Because we're confident we can give you like everything you want, so that you understand the fundamentals of XBORG, and you understand that there is a solid team behind it, and that we're doing something very unique for the gaming space. So being active on Discord, asking questions around, the community is very friendly. There's no, there is no barriers between the team and the community, really. And then taking governance actions. We still have a low participation rate on governance proposals, and that saddens me a tiny bit. Is I want to see people more active on governance proposals. People don't really see like how much, like, sometimes people don't really see how much we care about the community. And so when we put out a governance proposal and we don't see so many people interested in voting, to me that saddens me, because it's something we put a lot of work into.
I think personally it's a bit of a learning curve as well, because I figured out a while later, after buying the token, after holding the token, that you could actually pledge them and do so many more things to get more, basically a multiplier on the rewards you're getting. So for me, it was kind of a learning curve to get involved with this and to understand it. But what we have done for our community is to just basically broadcast your news channel to our channel. So whenever there is a proposal, our community will see that there is a proposal. So I would suggest any other communities out there to do the same, because then you're always up to date on when you can actually vote, basically, because it's a matter of knowing at the same time, right? Oh, shit.
Sure. I think in terms of communication, we can do a much better job as far as communicating the incentives, etc. But that's something we're working on.
Yeah, for sure. Hebben we nog iets, Ian?
Yes, we talked a lot about why XBORG is so special and what makes him stand out. But I can remember back in the day that there were supposed to be launchpads coming, new IDOs. When can we expect this?
Whatever is around investments, is we have to be very agile as far as the market. And when we do something, our first interest, so the first thing we have in mind is the community. And so revenue actually is not, like, if we know we're going to make money, but it's going to impact the community badly, we don't want to be involved in that. So for us, the market's been really disappointing. Actually, XBG was a great performer, actually the best performer in gaming tokens in Q4, but the rest of the market really hasn't shown strength. And we only want to be moving forward with a launchpad and new deals whenever we feel like those are amazing opportunities for holders. Just the market hasn't been good enough for us to justify, okay, let's do deals. Although we could make money out of this, because usually you take fees, etc. We just don't feel like it's the right move. So when to expect new launchpad deals is whenever we feel like it's positive. Now the community could also say, buy governance, because the community can actually create a governance proposal. The community could actually say, let's do a new deal with those terms, and then we can eventually move forward if the community wants it. But what we're seeing is, and that's actually very positive for the medium term of crypto, but what we're seeing currently is little interest in private market deals and very little momentum. And in those conditions, we don't want to necessarily be involved.
Yeah, it's better not to rush things, because then there's a big chance it might fail. Yeah, I like that approach. I like that approach really. And then I have my last question, because we are talking about the identity protocol, which can be implemented in different games. 2 questions. Is it going to be multiple platforms, like crossplay? Is this first? And the second question is, actually, it should be the first question. How will you guys do this? How will you implement a gaming identity with all the different games, gaming platforms, etc.?
Yeah, so we have like applications that push data into our network. The FanApp SDK is one. So when I mean FanApp SDK is like the tools that we've built for esports teams to build fan experiences. So whenever a fan goes on the app, it actually creates like an XBORG ID in the backend, but also adds data, gaming data, whenever they play games. So for example, we had an activation with Team Liquid this weekend, and it was on World of Warcraft, and whoever played that game and participated, ingested data into the network. But what's key to understand is the FanApp SDK is just one source, just one tool that we have to put data in the network. XBORG AI is going to be another tool, because it's going to be side by side with your launcher, listening to the game events, and that's going to be another source of data. And so the architecture is we have XBORG owned tools that broadcast data, but at some point there will be third-party integration. So whoever is a whitelisted developer will be able to also ingest data, so that we have, we also hedge our risk as far as data ingestion is concerned. And and that answers the other question, but how we able to capture data from different games is those different tools, but like fundamentally we use games APIs, or we listen to gaming events directly from the launcher. Those are the main two sources, and then we have what we would call proprietary data. So, for example, there's only us that's able to tell how much you're a fan of an esports team, because we are the infrastructure provider, and so that's data that you'll never be able to get through an API, and that's only us that have access to this data. So just to summarize on how we get data from multiple games, and yes, the answer, if you figure it, is we are on different games. We're connected to a whole bunch of APIs already. The answer is gaming APIs, real-time events from the games, and then proprietary data that we collect from our infrastructure.
Okay, clear.
Okay, and how do you guys actually select the teams you want to play with? Because they are a source of revenue, but at the same time, you kind of want to be connected to the best teams out there, right? Is there like a selection process, or how does this work?
No, today we only want to work with teams that pay us. In the future, there might be a world where this changes. So, for example, we could say, instead of paying us, you have to buy X amount of XBG. So it's not a monthly fee. It's to say, okay, you have to have like 100K worth of XBG to access our network. But today we focus on revenues. And so selection process is pretty simple. Is first, whoever is interested in our technology, and then whoever can afford the technology. That's how we do it. And we're missing out on many sports teams. That's for sure. But in a startup, and we're still very young, is we have to make trade-offs, and that's just one of the trade-offs we have to make.
Interesting. Okay, and do you have one final word or something you would like to share with the Dutch community out there, or perhaps the international communities out there?
Yeah. Well, first, I see so many people concerned about the token price. Yes, we're like down 75% or more or less. I don't even know. But I think you should, in these times, look at the fundamentals and look at first why you bought the token in the first place. And then, have an opinion on the project and have an opinion on the wider market. Crypto correlation, like altcoins are correlated de facto to all the other, like us, we're very correlated to ETH and SOL because our liquidity is on chain and paired to those assets. So I would say, if you want to study conviction, you need to study the fundamentals of XBORG, but also fundamentals of the wider crypto market. And yeah, so thank you so much for believing in what we do. But also, if you have any questions, we have Dutch mods in our team, well, in the community. So you have very direct access to the team, to our answers. And so if you feel like you need to ask questions or to be reassured about anything, team is 100% there, pretty much any time of the day, really.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with us. I 100% agree what you're saying about the price, because we kind of experience the same overall, right? Not specifically for XBORG or XBG token, because a lot of tokens are down and a lot of altcoins are down right now. It's not just this project; it's the global market right now. And a lot of people, they are very fearful in these moments, but I think it's actually one of the best moments to take a hard look at your portfolio and to actually choose the fundamentals, like you're saying, because so many people, they bought into the random meme tokens, they bought in the things they don't fully understand. They're buying into projects that either don't have a revenue, don't have users, don't have adoption, don't have something unique. It's just a hard fork of the previous project that does something a little bit faster. So there are so many things that are so much the same, or people are unaware of what they're buying. So I highly suggest everybody to take a look at XBORG. And one final question. Right now, XBORG is profitable. There's a runway for 3-4 years. Will there ever be some kind of revenue sharing with XBORG token holders, or will it just be a government's token forever?
Mike, you just did that.
Yeah, no, that's what I said is one of the cool thing, and then we've enforced that. We've turned on so many VCs that wanted to get equity from us. We have no one to please but token holders, essentially. Like a lot of people, when they raise with VCs, they have VC meetings, they have board meetings with VCs. And so when it comes to making money, like VCs, if they're on the board and they have equity, they want to get part of that money, all right? But for us, we really emphasize on putting 100% of the enterprise value back to token holders. And this is what makes us very different. So yeah, revenue share is very much on the table. Now, I can't stand the fact that we could do revenue share today, but like, I don't want to be bankrupt in 2 years because we haven't made the right decisions at that time. I want to make sure first that XBORG is profitable, and that once that kicks in and we're very confident about the future of the protocol, then revenue share is going to come in. But the goal is whenever we feel comfortable to go ahead, we go ahead. But that's very much the plan, yeah.
Very cool. Where are we standing in 5-year times? It's the year 2030. Where do we stand with XBORG? What is the vision?
I think XBORG is, if the vision of, well, what I envision to be true is that XBORG would be one of the biggest product builder in the whole gaming industry. Our thesis is that product development is going to be so much easier, and we're seeing it with Cursor AI and a bunch of tools. Is building products is going to be super easy. And and people will want to join communities that reward them for using those products. And at XBORG, and that's why we have so much focus on the token holders, is we believe that as barriers to entry to building new products is going to be lower, that people are going to build products with communities they feel part of, and people will want to bet on the distribution. And so 5 years is, XBORG is the one of the biggest gaming communities in the world, and that means we have some of the most successful products, and that would also imply that we have like an identity protocol comprised of tens of millions of people. That's really what we're shooting for.
Very cool. XBORG is my only gaming token I currently hold, but we are in a decentralized world. This is Web3. There's a lot of interoperability going on. Is there a different gaming protocol or different gaming token that you are a fan of yourself next to XBORG, or that you see are doing very cool things? Are there any?
Yeah, I think overall I have to say I've been very disappointed by the performance of my gaming peers. Like the, you know, I've advised a lot of projects, and it's crazy that some just have no clue of token launches, etc. So I've been very disappointed in the past, but there are two teams that I very much look up to, and I think will do particularly well. One is Beam, which previously was Merit Circle, and then the other one is Running, the blockchain. And so if I were to make 3 bets, obviously top one would be XBG, but the other would be Beam and Run blockchain.
All right, very, very interesting. Thank you for the suggestions. Then one final question from me. Do you have one life lesson for the people at home? I always like to ask that to all founders I meet.
To everyone or founders?
Well, to everyone from a crypto founder, basically.
Yeah, I think it's when we are in the tough times that you become strong, and those times are like really. I mean, those times are really tough for everyone that's involved in crypto. But you'll look back at this in like a year or two, and in the grand scheme of things, it will just feel like nothing. If anything, it's just a time to, and that's to me one of some of the most interesting times, because that's the times that you can really challenge your assumptions on, okay, if you've bought a meme, well, you understand it was complete vaporware. If you bought XBG, then you understand, okay, like timing was not correct, but you actually understand what we do, and like you believe in what we do. There's a big difference there. So lesson for me would be, it's in the tough times that you become the strongest, and that prepares you for a lot more upside, not just financially, but like within yourself. For the years to come, and ultimately you'll look back at it and think that it was almost nothing.
Well, thank you so much for your great words. I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you so much. I would say everybody like the video, share it with your friends. Of course, buy some XPG, study conviction, and thank you so much, Lou, for being here.
All right. Well,
thank you so much,
guys, for having me.
Have a nice day.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See you.
All right, guys, we still have one final thing for you, because Ian actually interviewed Lou at NFT Paris a while back. So we're going to show that interview right now. I have to look it up real quick, just like I had to do with the previous video.
I think minute 18, 20, 30 or something.
One moment, I've got it right here.
Yes, we're here with Lou, the CEO of XBORG, and I'd like to take this moment to clear some things. We are at the first in real life event in Paris of XBORG in Paris, and you made some nice announcements. Would you like to give us some outfits?
Yeah, it's gaming, and well, what we do at Expo is building the largest gaming identity layer. So it's like this big database of player data, and our community has been very vocal about the fact that we don't catch the current trends effectively, and that there are a few things that we miss out. And they were saying like, AI is something you have to do. But me as founder, obviously I saw the opportunity, but I did not want to step into the AI fields with nothing tangible. And so what we've announced today is that we've essentially worked on it last year or so, is that we secured the initial funding to build what we call the XBORG AI Labs, which is a separate development company that's building AI products that's completely tied to the XBORG ecosystem. So that means that what's to come now is like pure play AI product will be tied to the XBORG data layer.
And what does it mean for the community? What does the AI bring?
Well, that means one is fitting into a trend. So you've asked earlier, like, why is XBORG down? It's like today, not really. People are not really interested in Web3 gaming. People are interested in AI specifically because that's like a secular trend. And so one is like, meaning that there will be more investors that will be interested in XBORG as a token. Second, it means more products. More products means more revenues, like opportunities for revenues, more growth, more data that we ingest from the network. Like the way it works at XBORG is our number one goal is to build this large database of player data. So the more products we have, the more data we have. The more data we have, the more we can monetize the data layer. And so at the end of the day, the more beneficial it is for XBORG as a company, but then for XBORG as well.
Okay, so you're saying you got to double down on these prices?
It's we've been in crypto and we've funded XBORG in the bear market in 2022, and that's been like very rough times. Everyone that bets during those rough times got like insane returns, whether that's the people that invested in the Prometheus NFT or the people that got in super early on the XBORG token. So in crypto, you have to expect ups and downs, but the ones that make it in the end are the ones that believe in the technology and that invest when no one is willing to invest. And so I can say today the investment, no one's willing to invest in Web3 gaming specifically. Now we've just announced an AI product. I'm not saying XBORG is going to 10x tomorrow, but I'm saying like fundamentally, I think it's a great value play here if you're looking to invest in that.
Okay. With the community, we're a big believer of XBORG. Yes, we studied conviction. We're holding at least more than 1.2 million tokens.
It's a big bag.
That's a pretty big bag. When tier 1 listing. So not that we're going to dump or something.
No, community has been very vocal since listings. We've held a very different speech, which is like we don't like community thinks like sex is super bullish and that everything's going to go to. I agree on bias and Coinbase. I can tell that we're in contact with the head of listing of the top tier exchanges, and that includes Binance and includes Coinbase. So we're in touch with them. It's not like we're not in the process. We want to wait for the right time. And the right time for us is when there is more appetite in the gaming space. So we essentially have the right contact and network, so that when we think the timing is right, is when we want to list the exchanges. So it's going to be within Q1 or Q2 of this, and it's going to increase the distribution of the token. Today we have about 25,000 holders. And getting on Binance or Coinbase is going to help us get to but again, we want to take the right time for it. The market's clearly shown that it's not that beneficial if you push it too early, and you want to wait for the right time. So whenever people are bullish on gaming, and AI X gaming, which is where we fall as of today, is what we want to double down on. But we will be on Hyperliquid. So
it's already approved.
We put the spot for Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is like the fastest growing exchange. Is going to be also a chain, and we're super bullish on there. There's only about 50 spots a year, and we've secured one of them, so it's going to bring great liquidity and great order base to the XBORG.
Nice. Any last words, Lou?
Well, first, like, if you hold a large bag, obviously, thanks so much. I know, I get some DMs of like people saying, what should I do with my bags? I'm stressed out, etc. At the end of the day, if you're not able to hold, you'll never be rich. Like, you have to be able to handle the drawdowns. Whether you double down or not, it's up to you, really. But at the end of the day, you can't expect 10x, 20x, 100x if you can't handle like minus 50% of effects. So that's the way we do it in crypto.
You heard it here first. Also, one last thing. I got a stamp. What is the stamp for? You have no clue. As a Prometheus holder, you get a stamp because you can get something.
Is it the case? I have no clue.
You have no clue.
No.
Oh god, then we need to hold Lou, Connor, us not. We're gonna hold you guys accountable.
The team, like Connor and Oz, did an amazing job at the event. Like they did such a crazy job. I actually did not know. That's great. I'm holding, I think, 19 readers. I don't have the thing.
Okay. Well, thanks, Lou. Thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
And I'm eager to be on the journey with you guys.
Yeah. No, thanks so much for being on the journey.
So,
I know the sound is a little bit. The sound is a little bit caca. Mike, you're muted. Mike, you're muted. Muted.
Yeah, great interview nonetheless. Well, anyway, guys, have anything last words to say, Ian?
Guys, BTFD.
See it as another opportunity to buy for the same prices as we could a few months ago, because when the prices are going up, everyone will be thinking, oh, I wish I had. It's always the same. Every cycle, every correction, every dip. Stay safe.
I will check you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.